Joe Rogan explaining what he does, which is a podcast to entertain people where 11 million of the public rather enjoy it and like hearing him gobshite. That's the top and tail of it. He's not pretending to be BBC News. Why? Why is he not pretending to be CNN or Fox News? Because he doesn't fucking want to be. Watch this.
There's a lot of people that have a distorted perception of what I do, maybe based on sound bites or based on headlines of articles that are disparaging.
The master of deflection
has been accused of spreading dangerous misinformation, specifically about...
Now, the thing about these shows is that their primary goal was to entertain, as I remember. And that's different from the situation that we have today, where kids shows seem to consider entertainment sort of a secondary concern. The primary goal now is to ensure that the children in the audience adopt the correct political and ideological viewpoints.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
And by correct, I mean those views that are in keeping with the mainstream beliefs of our culture. And by that, I mean incorrect. So by correct, I mean incorrect. We'll begin with the latest example, and maybe the worst. This one is fresh out of the indoctrination oven. It's the show Muppet Babies, in which Gonzo comes out as a gender-fluid cross-dresser. Yes, really. Let's watch.
I don't want to do things just because that's the way they've always been done either. I want to be me.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
See, this is why it's so important to have a father in the home. It's clear that Gonzo doesn't have a father in the home to say, hey, take that thing off. You look stupid. Get that thing off of you.
Take that ridiculous thing off.
All right, so no list of woke children's shows would be complete without the Blue's Clues drag queen episode, which maybe you've seen by now, but it's got to be on the list. So let's all enjoy that once again.
Hey, Blue, look at all these families. Hi, families. It's time for a pride parade. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. This family has two mommies. They love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Families marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Trans members of this family all love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come join the fun!
This, by the way, is a show for preschoolers. Okay, like 3-year-olds. Pushing drag queens and pansexuals. Do you know what a typical plot for Blue's Clues used to be?
What's up, guys, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk about a couple big-time YouTubers. They're pretty large. They have like about 100,000 or more subscribers. And they are the American YouTuber named Matt Walsh and the English bloke named Alec Belfield. Now, I think both of these men are very intelligent, and I agree with so much with what they say. And I know we can't agree with 100% with anyone because everyone has a slightly different perspective on the world, right? But I just feel like these two guys are... I'm just saying they could be potential shills, because like they're telling 90% truth, but then it's that 10% that they just don't speak of. And if the way to tell that if they're a gatekeeper or not is if they're gonna talk about, like, yeah, they can see that there's something's wrong with the system, something's wrong with this corrupt system, that there are people in power that are manipulating the system and fucking over, let's just be frank, fucking over the lower class constantly, time and time again, building scam after scam after scam, and changing laws and behind the backs of the public, and etc., etc. But my point is they can expose everything in the system and they can expose the corruption, but then they keep talking about the left or the right paradigm. Like, they don't talk about how it's fake, how everything's set up. They don't talk about the satanic connection. They don't talk about the satanic ritual sacrifice and the ritual murders and Hollywood, and they don't talk about Satanism and the occult and these billionaires and elites that are manipulating everything and how everything's controlled. And Jesus Christ, if they don't mention that, they're shills. And you know what? I feel like I really agree with so much of what Matt Walsh is. And I almost unsubbed, but I didn't. Because I'm mature. I can still disagree with someone and like them and be their friend, right? But I was just wondering, are they part of the occult, right? Are they part of the system? You know what I mean? Then I don't think I could subscribe to them. Because if they're like a gatekeeper, like, that's how they control the Matrix, right? Like, they might have someone telling all the truth, but they say that the Earth's a globe. You know what I mean? Or they say everything is corrupt, but they still believe 9/11 was done by terror. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. Like, anyway, I'm gonna show you a clip about how Matt Walsh is saying that he's talking about how in Hollywood and the music industry they always do some kind of satanic music video, or like dress up, or like do something in the lyrics or something to talk about it, because it's like they want to be edgy and be cool, but really they're just telling you in plain sight what they are: witches and warlocks, and they're casting spells on the masses. They're using their music, they're using their media to influence the masses subtly, so subtly. They're not going to say, hey everyone, let's go out in the forest and make a satanic pentagram and take a baby and sacrifice it and kill it and drink its blood. They're not going to say it like that. They're going to say it, they're going to be like so subtle, and until everyone is on board with it. You know what I mean? They do it super slowly and socially engineer society. But regardless, again, if Matt Walsh and them don't talk about that, Matt Walsh and Alec Baldwin, if they don't talk about Belfield, Alec Belfield, Alec Belfield, they don't talk about that stuff, then they're just another shill gatekeeper. Sorry, I didn't talk clear.
One other quick clip I got to play for you. Alec Baldwin is still, I guess, defending himself. I don't know what you call this, but here he is ranting in his car. I don't know what this guy thinks he's doing, ranting in his car. What kind of weirdo does that? About the shooting. Listen.
The best way, the only way we can honor the death of Helena Hutchins is to find out the truth. That's what I'm working toward, insisting on, demanding that the organizations involved in this investigation do everything in their power to find out what really happened. That's all that matters. The best way to honor the death of Helena Hutchins is to find out the truth. And any suggestion that we're not complying, myself and any lawyers I'm working with or what have you, is a lie. That's a lie. We're gonna, as soon as we go through this process, then by all means we will comply. But I have no worries about that. That's all going to work itself out, regardless of what they say in these right-wing rag sheets and people who are all about hate. But setting aside all the hate, setting aside all the January 6th of it all, there it is.
What? Why did he hold up a packet of Splenda? What? I never actually watched this clip, so I'm befuddled. So he held up a packet of Splenda in which he had drawn a smiley face. And I guess, oh, okay. Well, I guess he's innocent, Your Honor. If he ever ends up in court, I guess this is what he could present. Your Honor, I present Exhibit A, Splenda. I rest my case. Well, but that would require him to go to court and be charged with the crime, which he has not been. Instead, he's making videos in his car saying, we have to figure out what happened. We got to get to the bottom of this. I mean, the hubris on this guy, the gumption. He pointed a gun at someone and shot them and is now saying, "Ooh, we need to figure out what happened. I am dedicated to getting to the bottom of this." You picked up a gun, pointed at someone, and shot him in the face. Like that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's it. It's actually not very complicated. But compare this. Here's the only point I really wanted to make about this. Alec Baldwin accidentally shot and killed someone, assuming that was accidental, which we can't even be sure of that, but let's just assume that it was. So he pointed a gun at someone and shot them, has not been charged with any crime at all. Kim Potter accidentally shot a dangerous, violent criminal in the course of trying to make an arrest, and she's going to prison. So, what is that? Is that male? Is this an example, finally, of male privilege? Well, no, it's not male privilege. This is leftist privilege. This is being a rich, famous celebrity privilege. This whole thing. But we're going to watch as much as we can. This is Little NasX, Montero. Let's check it out. Okay, a couple of thoughts here. First of all, artistically speaking, the song is trash. Now, the first point to make about the satanic imagery that you just saw there is that this dude is trying desperately to shock and offend us with the same routine that wasn't even all that shocking when Marilyn Manson did it 2.5 decades ago. This is not interesting. It's not bold. Kids today, if you're a kid and you see that and you think, oh, no one's done it. No, this has been, they've been doing this for decades, this shtick. It's been done 1,000,000 times. I mean, I've seen cards in Cards Against Humanity that are more surprising and shocking than this. And this really is, this looks like they wrote a bunch of random, edgy words and concepts onto some strips of paper. You know, they wrote like Satan,
the master of deflection,
stripper, murder, lap dance, and then threw it all into a hat and drew a handful randomly and made it into a music video. Even the Satan shoe that he's putting out that's gotten a lot of attention with human blood in the sole, the way it's designed, it makes it look like something that the goth kids in my high school made themselves at home.
What's up, guys? I want to say that I believe that Matt Walsh is actually a gatekeeper, because actually if he's talking in this one clip here, he's saying that all these musicians and rock stars and movies and stuff, they show the satanic themes or like symbols, or they dress up like satanic characters, and it's just because they want to be edgy or they want to get attention from people, so their music video is popular. But it's because they're actually part of the occult, and they're doing a spell called Hidden in Plain Sight, where they show us the truth in our face, and then we think it's just like this. We dismiss it as like a joke, or they're just trying to be, like he says, like trying to just get extra views, right? And he said that they've been always doing this since way back in the 80s and 90s. But I think that I agree with like 90% of what Matt Walsh says about the transgender agenda and stuff like that. But I think he's a gatekeeper because he pushes the left-right paradigm. And I don't think you could know this much about the propaganda in movies and TV shows, etc., and know this much about what these guys are pushing, and then still believe in the left-right paradigm, still believe that you could still vote and it matters, and not talk about the satanic connection. Because we know that in 1980 in America, they had a police training tape for new recruits. It would teach them how to deal with satanic ritual abuse cases and satanic ritual murder cases. It's SRA and SRM cases. And this was in 1980. They said that these cases were exploding. They would go to crime scenes, find murders, and they would find bodies, and they would find satanic pentagrams, symbols, witchcraft, warlock type items at the crime scene, or like drawings, right? Or candles, you know what I mean. But anyway, nowadays they probably have a special task force designed to cover up those connections. Anyway, so that's the reason why I believe Matt Walsh is a gatekeeper. Thank you so much. And God bless you and your families.
And it's just one more reason why you should turn the TV off. Send your kids outside. Let them go run and play, scrape their knees, bloody their noses a little bit, Minor injuries await them outdoors, but at least they'll still have their souls and their brains.